first time, and he faces Aaron Judge, who swings at the first pitch, sends it deep right center. Scott along the track to the wall. He leaps, and he nearly had it, but it's gone. At first, Rice is at the plate. 2-2 pitch to Rice. In the air, right center field. This is a no-doubt shot from Ben Rice. And this game has flipped. The Yankees take the lead.
Good evening and welcome to another installment of the New York Minute Sports Show. Ben Rice is cooking down in St. Louis. We got highlights. We got Aaron Boone's postgame conference. It's New York Minute Sports. It's New York sports for New York nuts. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's go!
It's New York Minute Sports. It's New York Sports Talk for sports nuts.
Well, there you have it, folks, and it was the Ben Rice Show in St. Louis tonight. Ben Rice finishes the game with 7 RBIs tonight, and he was showing off. The top 3 in the lineup tonight. We got Trent Grisham, Judge, and Ben Rice were unconscious tonight, and that's what it's going to take with the 12 runs it took to defeat the St. Louis Cardinals tonight. Aaron Judge is getting hot, and now you see Ben Rice starting to hit his stride. Because like I've said on this program before, I was sending messages to my friends at 3 a.m., okay, in the offseason, telling them about Ben Rice. And nobody would believe me. Everybody thought I was crazy. But Ben Rice is the stuff. And I think that the reason that you're getting more of a show from him is that he's playing every day. With the injury to Paul Goldschmidt and Wells not playing too well, he's become the catcher and the first baseman. Now, Cody Bellinger was sick tonight. That's why he wasn't in the lineup. I know a lot of people were asking about that because now Cody Bellinger with Paul Goldschmidt can play first base. But with the way Jason Dominguez was playing out there tonight and led up the early runs for the New York Yankees, and everyone was like, oh, here we go again. But Jason was playing outfield like he was on roller skates, and he might want to skip a few trips to the buffet, it looks like, because it looks like eating in Major League Baseball is doing really well to Jason Dominguez, and he was safe at second base tonight as I did the slow-mo breakdown on New York Minute. That's NEWYRKMIN on Instagram. But the Yankees got a win tonight. That was a good thing, but it was the tale of two pitchers, if you want to talk about storylines that are connected to the New York Yankees, and that's Sonny Gray. If you remember, we got Sonny Gray, and it was a great deal at the time, but he could not perform under the hot lights, and the pinstripes were heavy for Sonny Gray, and that's another guy that can go anywhere to a small market and thrive, and the Yankees have had a history like that. You know, whether it's Carl Pavano, Pineda, any of these guys, they get in such pressure that they can't and they fold, like Joey Gallo. So one guy that can handle the pressure and has taken the ball every time he's been given it this year, Max Fried. Max Fried, let's be honest, guys, Max Fried got lit up tonight. He has not looked like our ace for about a month and a half. Ever since the blister problem, he hasn't been able to finish guys off, and I've been asking, I've been begging, I've been pleading on this show. You guys can remember, for the last month, please let Max Fried skip a start. I don't care how you do it, bullpen game, whatever. Okay, you could have done it today against the St. Louis Cardinals. They could have beat the Cardinals without Max Fried today. I know hindsight's 20/20, but he needs a rest. He's taken the ball every single time he's been asked this year, and he was down for a little bit of time with the blister, but he is hitting a wall, and you can see it. This guy is going to be needed for the playoff push. And if they do get into the playoffs, they're going to live and die by Max Fried, because Max Fried has that ability to have one of those Cliff Lee on the Philadelphia Phillies postseason runs where he can be that shutdown guy, but we got to get there first. I don't want him getting shut down with an injury. I don't know what it is. He's not been able to get guys out, and that usually means guys aren't as sharp, and that means that their stuff doesn't have as much zip on it as in the beginning of the season, because you could see the break on Max Fried stuff. You could see that he was more efficient, and now he seems to labor. And even though he's giving us 7 because he refuses to come out of games when Aaron Boone tries to get him out of games. So the Yankees, and you know what? The bullpen wasn't that great tonight. Bednar had to come in to close out this game. We had Devin low-leverage Williams tonight come into the game, and he did it perfect. Jonathan Loizaga time, as I like to call it, in the 6th inning. Mark Leiter Jr. was back to Mark Leiter Jr. kind of things. But I just see McMahon with his first home run as a New York Yankee tonight. And can we not say enough about what this guy has brought to the New York Yankees this year? It reminds me of Scott Brosius 2.0 coming over from the Oakland A's, who were dismal at the time. And then you have McMahon, who was playing meaningless games for the last 9 years in Colorado. This guy plays an amazing third base. Nothing gets past him. And now I heard before we got him what a strikeout machine he was and how bad he was at the plate. I have zero complaints about McMahon because he is a Gold Glover third baseman, which the Yankees have not had in a dog's age. And now he checks all the boxes and he can hit for power. And you know what? I really smell him coming through in a clutch postseason run or in the postseason when we get there, because I think the guy is hungry. Getting all these guys from really shitty teams, people were saying, how can you get a guy from the Rockies? How can you get a guy from the Rays? And if you looked at Caballero tonight, he was doing everything other than selling hot dogs, stealing bases, laying down a sacrifice bunt tonight. Hello?
Oh my God, it's a bunt! It's a bunt! Put that in your analytics pipe and smoke it, buddy! Holy shit, I can't remember the last time the Yankees laid down a pole bunt.
I haven't seen that. They should put that video in the Smithsonian. They should put that video in the Smithsonian. A pole bunt from a New York Yankee. Caballero gets on, steals a base. That's baseball, Susan. That's baseball, Susan. That's what I'm talking about. By hook or crook, get on base. If you're such an OPS hound, okay, on base. You can get on base by bunting. So stick your analytics up your ass on that one, because it looks like the Yankees are starting to get desperate if they're pulling bunts. But that's something that Caballero pulls and brings to the team. And everyone's scratching their head why Giancarlo Stanton isn't playing in right field. I think it might be how big right field is down in St. Louis. They don't want to risk an injury with him. Also, after playing 3 straight games in the outfield, since not being in the outfield since 2023, I want to say, they had to give him a day off. And I think that you can get by, obviously, with the runs that the Yankees are scoring without Giancarlo Stanton. But you hate to see a guy have to sit when he's red hot like Giancarlo Stanton is. But out of all the guys on the New York Yankees that is a professional hitter and a professional baseball player, it's Giancarlo Stanton. You don't have to worry about getting cold. He's pinched hit. He's hit big in the playoffs. He's played in right field, and I got to admit, he's played a decent right field, very under control. He runs like he has imaginary suitcases under his arms, but whatever it takes, just don't get hurt. Bridge that gap to Aaron Judge coming back, and you can see Aaron Judge is getting right with the home run tonight. And look at his bonkers numbers, even with really not doing much from the All-Star break and getting hurt. And the Yankees go as Aaron Judge goes, as you can see with the highlight right here. He hits one right over the fence. I don't know where the balls were just dying at the fence tonight. Center fielder was okay, by the way. But Aaron Judge is getting right. You could see it for the past week. These guys, especially power hitters and professional hitters like Aaron Judge, they go for line drives, and eventually the power and elevation will come. So the Yankees get a big win in St. Louis tonight. Let's go to the Aaron Boone postgame press conference.
And in the strike zone at a really high level. I think he was starting to have a presence a little bit on the arm side. So with a, change up over there, sinker on that side of the plate, and then
Blast from the past alert. Alvan Nova, first New York Yankees pitcher tonight. Max Fried, 7+ runs and a win. I like Nova. He was serviceable, never really panned out, but another one of those farm arms. And you guys want to complain about what Brian Cashman does now. That was the pitchers that we were getting. Not the Luis Heels, not the Will Warrens, not the Cam Schlitlers. We were getting the Alvan Novas of the world, okay? Who were going 5 innings before it was
set
cool.
Up his cutter even better, or the curveball, because he's got so many ways to beat you, and he's got to make sure he uses that and uses both sides of the plate, and he just got into a good rhythm, from a command standpoint too.
Aaron, he had a 1.92 ERA coming into July. It's 6.80, I think, his last 8 starts. Is there any commonality that you've seen?
Yeah, I mean, you've been here the whole time. Like, it's that for me, it's the next level strike throwing. For several starts in there, it was not consistently getting ahead at all. A lot of 1-0 starting from there. Then, the Astros got him where he was not putting guys away. I think it's just that next level of command, making sure he's using all his stuff and using both sides of the plate. But this is the gauntlet that is the season. That's he'll get through it. And
see, that's the thing, okay? And Boone seemed a little frustrated there with Max Fried's command, and he was saying that he's getting down in counts. First of all, he was getting down in counts in the beginning of the year, and he was getting out of them, okay? I think that's just the way that Max Fried pitches, and that's the way that he addresses things. But he just said, it's a grind of a season. It's a marathon of a season. Is he hinting that he's running out of gas a little bit here? And does that play to my storyline of that he needs to skip a goddamn start? Just one, that's it. This team will not melt down if he misses one. Give him some rest and give him fresh legs and a fresh arm. Let that hand heal. Just a week. That's it. No big deal. You can parse it together with all the arms that you got during the trade deadline. Give him a week off, and I guarantee you, okay, you're going to love the way you look. I guarantee it. And Max Fried will look better.
He's working his tail off, too. The stuff's there. We just got to find that next level of execution.
At the beginning of the year, you were expecting Rice to help you. Is he exceeding your expectations on what he's done?
Maybe. I think because you factor in, he's put himself in the mix from the catching standpoint, too.
See, that's a prime example of Aaron Boone. Yes, he is a surprise. But Aaron Boone gets his players back so much to a fault of his own. No, I'm not getting his back here. But when he says something like that, he thinks he will diminish Ben Rice by saying, yeah, he was a big surprise this year. Because he's like, no, we thought as an organization, as a franchise, that this guy was going to be big. Listen, I've been following Ben Rice. He was a single-A catcher, and they almost moved him 3 or 4 times in moves, and he wasn't considered a hot commodity. He came up here last year, he showed off, and they were like, oh, what do we have here? And then he turned into Mike Stanley 2.0, playing first base and catcher like Jimmy Leyritz and killing it from the left side of the plate.
But he was killing the ball in spring training, so we knew he was going to have a big role for us. Especially with G down to start the season, that created a lot of opportunities there.
Yeah, so was Jorbit Vivas, Aaron Boone, okay? And he's bagging groceries at the Speedway right now.
He's taken it and turned himself into a really prominent player.
Yeah, Ben Rice has had a pretty nice.
Tell whoever's in the background to shut up, Aaron Boone. We're doing a press conference back here.
9 games. What are you seeing from him approach-wise that you think is leading to that?
Not a lot different, honestly.
Even
getting some results.
Who's that?
He's hit the ball hard all year.
I'll see you after the game,
we talk about
Denise.
unlucky and all that. Like, he is the poster child. I mean, he's hit so.
Ben Rice has the most unlucky outs in all of Major League Baseball. Do you know who was second so far this year? Juan Soto. Little New York connection. And the Mets are plummeting right now. I haven't even touched that beehive because I feel like I'm going to jinx the Yankees and I shouldn't talk. But Jesus Christ, are they melting
So many
down
balls
in
on
Queens.
the screws for outs this year. And, right now he's getting rewarded a little bit for it, but he's definitely in a good place at the plate. Like, I think he's doing a great job of controlling the zone while still making sure he's going up there aggressively looking for his pitch.
How encouraging is it for you all to get the kind of offensive output you got tonight when you have 3 MVPs and on a bench?
Well on the field, smart, heady player. Then you add in the base running and a little bit of an offensive presence too in the box, and just that plays the game within the game, does a lot of things well on the field. Smart, heady player. I'm really excited we got him.
And Trent 4 for 5 tonight, another night for him. What is that like to have him at the top of the order?
Yeah, talk about
There's my girl Susan
quality
asking
at bats
some
and controlling the
questions.
zone. That's what Grish does, and he was obviously great tonight on base 5 times.
Yeah, Trent Grisham's really invented himself. Coincidentally, in a contract year, well, he'll be a free agent next year, killing it as always. Some guys really bet on themselves. He took a pay cut in arbitration. He was making 5.5. Now he's just making 5. Rolled the dice on himself. Came up huge this year. The Yankees don't know if they're going to pay him. He was a throw in the Juan Soto deal, and the Yankees didn't even know if they wanted to re-sign him in the offseason last year. But, man, think about the New York Yankees and where they would be without Trent Grisham this year. And I've seen his clutch stats, and I was kind of poo-pooing him, and I got to call myself out. I was saying in the beginning of the season that Trent Grisham was taking reps away from our youth for Jason Dominguez and Stanton, but you know what? I was wrong. Trent Grisham has been a godsend to the New York Yankees, and if we didn't have him, holy shit. And you know what? They kind of did this with Carpenter from St. Louis to tie it all together with Trent Grisham. If you remember, Carpenter came to the Yankees in the second half of the season. He had about 13 home runs for the Yankees in about 2 months, and they totally changed his approach at the plate, and you can see that uppercut swing that Trent Grisham has, and it's kind of the same approach, and it's been paying huge dividends when you have 1,000 OPS like Trent Grisham. So Yankees win. I'm not going to go too far with the Aaron Boone press conference because really what are we going to discover? I am waiting for the Boston Red Sox series of next week. I am chomping at the bit. I didn't do a show last night because there's really not much to say. I'm not just going to do a show just to do a show. If something of, something I want to talk about comes up, I'll do the show. And that's New York Minute Sports. New York Sports for New York Minute. New York Minute. And remember, guys, we are going to have wall-to-wall NFL coverage along with the Yankees postseason push in September, starting with the Jets-Giants coverage, everything NFL, and the Yankees have a big game tomorrow. They go for the sweep at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and the Yankees need this sweep. They get a day off. Tampa Bay chomping at the bit for this Boston Red Sox series. Let's go, Yankees. They're starting to hit their stride. All arrows are pointing up. Judge is getting hot. Ben Rice is hot. Trent Grisham's hot. Let's get healthy. Let's get Cruz back from the DL out of the bullpen. Let's go, guys. Let's get Yarborough back. Maybe stretch it out. Get Max Fried a little bit of a rest. I'm down for all of it. We'll have you covered wall to wall. And remember, it's New York Minute Sports. It's New York sports for New York nuts. And if you can't be good, be bad, baby. Bye.